Here's part 12 of The Troop. So Sunday now arrived, and the guy that was supposed to pick them up on the boat to take them back to the mainland is nowhere to be seen. And above them, a cyclone and a seasonal storm had begun a brewing. So the wind's picking up, it's raining hard, the boys are freaking out. They're like, back to the cabin, to shelter. And Kent is like, no, we can't go inside the cabin. We can't go inside the cabin. There's a dead guy in there. Can't do that. Tim is in there. We're not doing that. There is a storm shelter on the island behind the cabin. We can go do that. And then Shelly's like, you're sick, aren't you, Squidward? I saw you eating the algae down by the beach today. Kent, you're sick. Funny. Remember how you treated Tim when he was ill? Do you think you should get the same punishment, Kent? Huh? And Kent, of course, fought the allegations. I am not sick, Shelly. Well, what about Tim? Says Ephraim. What about Tim? He's gonna be in the cabin. We gotta get to the cellar. No. Tim can't come with us because he's sick. Well, you're sick too, aren't you, Kent? I am not sick. I am not sick. Stop it. And then this is where Max is like, nah, Kent, you can't come with us. You can't come with us. Kent starts freaking out. He starts screaming. He starts crying. I'm not sick. I'm not sick. And my favorite part, Tim, from the inside of the cabin, quietly says from behind the taped door, I'm sick. I shouldn't have laughed, but I giggled. I'm sick. So as the wind is picking up and the rain is really coming down, they quickly rush inside, they grab all their utilities, candles, heating elements, blankets, and they all make their way down to the cellar. Max runs inside real quick. He notices that Tim's door is taped shut, tears off all the tape. He tells Tim there's a storm coming, it's really bad, and Tim's like, I'll be fine, I'm gonna stay up here. You guys take any needed supplies and you make your way down to the cellar. And the boys are like, Kent, you can't come with us. You're sick. It's contagious. And he's fighting it tooth and nail. I'm not sick! And the last thing Tim said to the boys before they left is like, Max, this is contagious. I don't know how, but I am so hungry. I am so hungry. And then we we transition into the next chapter, which is another part of the court case. It's another lab entry, but with test monkeys inside the lab. And I did take active notes with the details, but it's kind of horrific, so I'll spare you on that. So it's the same thing. Dr. Edgerton's like, we're starting this at 5 a.m. This is a specific species of monkey, gender female, height, weight, blah, 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 blah. We are now giving it a hydatid syringe, an injection with a bigger dose this time, and we'll keep track of it. So for a couple hours, it was fine. The monkey grew really hungry after a bit and started to get kind of agitated. And within a 3-hour block, it went like zombified. The worms multiplied inside the monkey's body and was leaking out of its eyes, out of its rear end, out of any orifices. It literally began taking control of this monkey. And when it ran out of food, it began picking out all the stuff in the landscape, in the cage, blankets, the toys it had in there. Then it started eating its own flesh, ripping chunks of scalp and hair and eating it, throwing it back up, eating it again, and just ripping pieces of itself off. And over this 12-hour block, the monkey begins to sleep a lot. It had almost a narcotic effect on the monkey. It was hyper for a minute, it would eat a lot, and then it would just sleep. And eventually, if you know what a prolapse is, its intestines were prolapsed, as well as long worms would come out of its body. So this recorded voice notes get so horrific. Like, this creature literally is consumed from the inside out. Like, it is leaking worms. It also mentally deteriorates. So it started pacing at first. It started sitting in its little kiddie pool, listlessly playing with the water, and then it would move to another part of the cave, sleep, cage, sleep, and like aimlessly swing on the swing. But its body was also being consumed. So by the end of this 12-hour mark, it was literally skin and bones. It was a sentient skin and bones leaking worm. The eyes were sunken in so much that its body digested the eyes and the organs. And there was a point where I believe it was Dr. Harnenval that was talking into the recorder, and it's Clive Edgerton that is the evil doctor. And Harnenval's just like, it is 11:45 p.m. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. And he's just like, oh my God. The subject isn't the subject anymore. Oh my God. It's crawling towards something. And, she's dragging her intestines and organs with her because it all leaked out of herself. And it's crawling towards a worm that it just passed, and it's trying to eat the worm. The subject has pulsating pores all over its body, and at this point, the pores erupted and worms just spilled out of every single pore in the animal's body, and it finally died. And you can hear over the recording that Dr. Harnenval is screaming for anybody in the lab to come and either intervene or put it out of its misery or somebody to witness this. And he's screaming for Clive Edgerton, like, holy shit, I need someone in here now. What is going on? Subject is fucked. We have to stop this. And then the recording cuts out, and then Clive Edgerton takes over, and he's describing the last bit of the scenario, which is at the very end of this monkey's life, before it completely expired. It stood up with a last bit of strength and started ripping off its skin, and eating its own skin. And its eyes, whatever was left of the eyes, worms just started coming out of it. I'm so sorry. This is the details, and it was so much worse listening to it. But finally, the monkey passes away, and Clive Edgerton is just like, test concluded.